are you doing in my swamp?
Hello everybody, this is Ogre Boy, and I'm going to be doing my ranking for all 13 Disney princesses. Now that I've ranked all of the Disney Animation Studios movies from each of their eras, I thought I'd go ahead and do a few other rankings before I do my big final ranking of all 62 movies. But this week I thought I'd rank the princesses. So I'm gonna go ahead and get going. Coming in at number 13 is Merida from Brave. Now, I don't really have anything against any of the princesses or anything, but Merida just doesn't really feel like a Disney princess because she's only in a Pixar movie, and Pixar isn't even Disney and everything. They're owned by Disney, but they're not actually Disney, so she doesn't feel like she fully fits in and stuff. There's been jokes about it throughout the years about how she doesn't really fit in and stuff, but I think she's an lovable character and everything. I think Merida is really likable and stuff, and I love her in Brave and stuff, but I just don't think she's one of my favorite princesses out of Disney's princesses and stuff. But she's pretty good and everything. But she's definitely not my most favorite and everything. She doesn't have that magical feel to her that all these other princesses do and stuff, and she just doesn't really feel like your typical Disney princess. So maybe that's part of it too. But yeah, so Merida is number 13, and number 12 is Aurora from Sleeping Beauty. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of Sleeping Beauty, and that is a big factor into why she's lower and everything, but it's also because she just does not have a lot of screen time. She doesn't hardly do anything in the movie and everything. While the movie is called Sleeping Beauty, it more focuses on the fairies and Maleficent and everything, and raising her and trying to stop Maleficent from killing her and stuff. Like, there's just not a lot to do with Aurora herself and everything. Like, she's barely even in the movie. Half of it she's asleep in, so she doesn't really do a lot and everything. And I've never thought she was one of the best Disney princesses and everything. She's just an okay character. She's likable and everything, but out of all of the ones that are actually from Disney Animation Studios, she's definitely my least favorite, because she doesn't have too much of a personality, and she's just not one of the best. So Aurora is number 12, and number 11 is Snow White. She barely didn't make it into the top 10. I really debated on these next three on who was going to go where, but the more I thought about it and stuff, I like Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs more, actually, for the dwarfs. I always have. I've always been a big fan of Grumpy and Dopey, and I always just enjoyed watching them and everything. And Snow White is lovable, and she's a really likable character and everything, but she's not one of the best Disney princesses. She doesn't really do much and everything. She set the template, and she's a very important character because this is from the very first animated movie of all, or Disney Animation Studios movie, so it's an important character and an important princess, but she just isn't one of my most favorites and everything. I personally like some of the other princesses more. I do love the movie Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and I love the dwarfs and everything, but Snow White herself, when I think of Disney princesses or wanting to watch a Disney princess movie, Snow White isn't usually the one I go to, usually, and everything, and she's not my go-to princess or anything like that. So she's number 11, and number 10 is Jasmine. Now this is the one character that is actually kind of a secondary character in the movie. Like she's one of the main characters and everything, of course, because she's Aladdin's love interest, but she's not like the very main character, and she doesn't have near as much screen time and stuff as the other princesses do and stuff, because she's Aladdin is more of Aladdin's story and everything. Like all the other princess movies focus on the princesses themselves and stuff. And this one, it's kind of weird because she isn't really focused on throughout the movie. It's mostly about Aladdin trying to win her over and everything, and pretending his character arc and stuff, and of pretending to be someone he's not and everything to win her over and everything. But I think Jasmine is a great character. She's really likable. She's feisty. She's and she's just got a really nice personality. I love how like she really loves Aladdin and everything, and she's just really a likable character, and she's always one that I've always really enjoyed, but she's just not one of my favorite princesses. I don't know why. She never has been or anything, but I do like Jasmine and everything, so she's number 10. And number 9 is the newest addition to the official Disney Princess lineup, Raya from Raya and the Last Dragon. Now, I didn't include Anna and Elsa because they're not officially Disney princesses, but Raya was recently inducted into being the 13th official Disney princess, and I absolutely love Raya. I think she's a very lovable character. I love the movie Raya and the Last Dragon. I think it's a very underrated movie, and I think she's a very underrated character. I love like how her character arc of learning how, you know, just because bad things happen in the past, you have to understand that things can go good in the future, and not to have trust issues and stuff. The journey that she goes on is really well done, and I really like that, and I think this is a really good movie and everything, and I think that Raya is a really great character and everything, and she's one of my favorite Disney princesses and everything, so she's number 9. And number 8 is Moana. I absolutely love Moana. I think she's a really great character. She's really popular too. Like, she's a really popular character because she's one of those characters that just doesn't. She's not your typical Disney princess. She is one that puts up all the battles. She doesn't have a love interest. She does still have her animal sidekicks and her friend sidekick, but she's not really your typical princess and everything. But I love that about her. She's different, and she's really lovable, and she has a beautiful singing voice, and I love watching Moana and everything, and she's just a really lovable character and everything. I'm not really sure how I feel about the second movie happening and stuff, but I'm not too upset about it, but I'm not like super for it either. But I am kind of curious to see what happens with them bringing her back and everything. So yeah, Moana is number 8, and number 7 is Pocahontas. I really love Pocahontas. I've always thought this movie is very underrated too. It's kind of like Raya and the Last Dragon. It's one that doesn't get the credit it deserves. I've always really enjoyed this movie, and I think that Pocahontas is a really lovable character. I know she's a lot different than what she was in real life, but this is an animated Disney movie, so I just go with what they give us and everything. There are other movies if you want a historically accurate Pocahontas. There are definitely other movies to watch, like The New World and everything. There are other movies, so this movie, it's still pretty good though, and I really enjoy the animation in here. It's got some really beautiful animation, and the songs are great and everything, and Pocahontas herself is just a really lovable character, and you really want to root for her and see her get with John Smith and everything. And I love that, like, this is one of those movies that doesn't have your typical happy Disney ending and stuff. They don't end up getting to be together because he got shot and everything. I thought that was a cool ending. Like, they did a good job with that and everything. But I think that Pocahontas is great. I almost said Moana. I think Pocahontas is a really great villain. I mean, princess. Dang, I'm just getting all messed up here. So she's number 7, and number 6 is Rapunzel from Tangled. Now, this one is one that I never expected to be one of my favorites. When I first saw the trailers for the movie, I thought it looked good and everything, but I never expected that she would be one of my favorites, and she kind of landed in the middle of this ranking, but I really do like Rapunzel quite a bit. I think she's a really lovable character and everything. I love her, how she's like naive and innocent and stuff, but she also has that sense of wonder and innocence to her that Ariel has, except she's not quite as spunky as Ariel. And I really like that, though. And I think Mandy Moore does a really excellent job doing her voice. I think she has some really great songs and stuff. I love I See the Light and everything. And she's just a really lovable princess and everything. And she was a welcomed addition and everything. So Rapunzel from Tangled is number 6. And number 5 is Cinderella. She is easily my favorite one out of the ones that Walt Disney himself made, out of the movies that were made by Walt Disney himself and his crew and stuff. I would definitely say Cinderella is easily my favorite out of that era of Disney. I think she's a really lovable character. She's always doing everything she can to help everybody, which is a very likable trait and everything in a character. I think she's great. And I love the sidekicks and everything about Cinderella is just really great. She's lovable. She's got great. She makes great music. She's just your perfect Disney princess. Like, she's one of the most perfect ones and everything. And pretty much all of the top 5 I think are all great characters and everything. But I really love Cinderella and everything. So she's number 5. And number 4 is Mulan. Now, I think she's probably the most badass out of all the Disney princesses. She's just awesome. She kicks a lot of butt and really makes a name for herself and everything by the time that this movie is over. Spends most of it pretending to be a guy so that she can fight in the war and stuff so that her father doesn't have to. I think that is a really respectable trait of her and makes her really respectable and really a lovable character and everything. And I think she's just one of the absolute best Disney princesses and everything, because she just is so selfless and stuff, like, and that's just a really, really great trait and everything, and just makes her one of the best. So Mulan is number 4, and number 3 is Tiana. I love Tiana. I think she is just an absolutely wonderful character. She is just absolutely lovable and everything. In the whole movie, you are rooting for her, hoping to see her succeed in getting this restaurant that she's always wanted and stuff. And she ends up falling in love with this prince unexpectedly. And by the end of the movie, when she does finally get it, it is so satisfying, because you go on this whole journey with her, wanting to see her succeed in the career that she wanted and everything. And it's a very satisfying ending, and she's just a very lovable character. Like, I also love the message that she sends out, that you can make, that dreams can come true, but you have to make them happen. You have to work hard to make your dreams come true. And I think that's a great message that Tiana gives to kids and stuff. And I think she's a very lovable character, and easily one of my favorite Disney princesses. Like over the years, she's really, really grown on me and everything. So she's number 3, and number 2 is Ariel from The Little Mermaid. I just love her spunky feistiness and how she stands up for what she wants and is doing everything she can to get what she wants, even if she is making some poor decisions by making a deal with a sea witch. But she is a very lovable character, and I love her naive and innocence and her curiosity and all that. It just makes her really, really lovable and everything. And when she goes on land and loses her voice, she's still able to be lovable without talking and stuff, and able to carry the movie even without that and everything. So Ariel from The Little Mermaid is easily one of my favorite princesses for sure. She's barely number 2 and everything, but Also, not easily number 2, or she's also easily number 2 because my number 1 spot is easily number 1. So coming in easily at number 1 is Belle. She is absolutely my favorite female Disney character of all time. I just absolutely love Belle. She's a beautiful character. She's a nerd like me. She loves reading. She's very, very likable and sweet, and I just love her character traits. She's just such a great character, and she's always been one that I've always really, really loved. She reminds me a lot of Hermione from Harry Potter because of being obsessed with books. That's probably why they cast Emma Watson as Belle in the live action version, but and the live action version is fine too, but I prefer the animated version, like anybody would. But she is just absolutely great. I love Belle. I love like how she stands up to the Beast and everything, even though she's terrified of him and everything. She stands her ground. She's likable. She's funny, and you can't help but love her and everything. So Belle is easily my number 1 favorite Disney princess. So anyway, let me know in the comments how you would rank the Disney princesses. If you don't want to do a full ranking, just tell me your favorite and least favorite, or just tell me your favorite, whichever you'd rather do. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and have a good day, everybody.